Over there, Jay.
Right here? All right.
We're
Taking
going to
care
get
of
to that in just a moment. First, though, we have some huge breaking news concerning Giannis Antetokounmpo into SportsCenter. And for that, we bring in senior NBA insider Shams Charania and NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins. So, Shams, what's the latest on Giannis's future? Finally, some movement, maybe a decision there.
Hannah, league and team sources tell me that the Milwaukee Bucks are officially open for business on all trades and calls offers for Giannis Antetokounmpo, the two-time MVP, entering the draft combine this week and over the next 6 weeks before the NBA draft. This has been a 12-month-long saga between Giannis and the Bucks, but co-owner in Milwaukee, Jimmy Haslam, last week said that this will either end in a long-term commitment from Giannis or a trade elsewhere before the June 23rd NBA draft. And this all surrounds one very important element. Giannis has made it clear for a period of months now that he believes the time has come for both sides to move on, to part ways. The Bucks have resisted over the last calendar year a trade, believing that they can still win and compete with Giannis, but that's depleted their asset base, their talent on their team, and now they are in a reality where they will be listening. They are fully open for business. And as far as Giannis' stance on the fact that he believes the time has come to part ways, I'm told nothing has changed. So now the conversation will turn to where does he want to be long-term? Where will he commit long-term? Because an important note, he only has one guaranteed year left on his deal that gives him significant sway and power over his future.
Well, finally something, because this situation has seemed to have been in limbo for so long, Big Perk. What's the best possible scenario, do you think, for both sides?
Well, by the time it happened, I mean, I got tired of being, exhausted mentally behind this whole situation, but between this torn relationship. But I'm looking at Giannis and I'm saying you have to go to the best fit that you could actually put yourself in position to win a championship. And I'm about to be biased here. If I'm Giannis Antetokounmpo, I'm looking at Boston. And if I'm Boston, I'm calling the Milwaukee Bucks because I would love to see Giannis Antetokounmpo and a healthy Jason Tatum in the Eastern Conference representing the Boston Celtics. And on top of that, you have a guy that finished top 5 in the MVP voting in Jaylen Brown, who's available, who's just now knocking at the door of his prime. So I know it's going to be a lot of options for Giannis. Obviously, he's in my opinion, top 5 greatest power forward to ever play the damn game of basketball. But again, if I'm Brad Stevens, I'm picking up that call, and I'm one of those phone calls that's ringing.
And you're sending Brown, right? You're putting Brown out there. You're sending him to Milwaukee. Okay.
Yeah, you heard what I said. You heard what I said, Legend. Yes. I want to see Tatum and Giannis.
I know. I heard you. I'm just emphasizing that that's the deal. Okay. Shams, obviously we have another big man in the headlines. It's been a very busy day. Victor Wembanyama, we saw his time in Game 4 cut short early, ejected in the second quarter of that loss to the Wolves after being given a flagrant 2 for throwing an elbow at Minnesota's Naz Reid. And Spurs head coach Mitch Johnson said afterwards that he didn't condone the hit, but that Wemby does have to protect himself if teams continue to play him physically. And you could certainly understand that. He's not a guy who wants to send a message that he wants to be pushed around. However, he did put himself in jeopardy there. What's the latest on his availability for Game 5, Shams?
Hannah, the NBA investigated this and the ruling has come down. There will be no discipline, I'm told, for Victor Wembanyama moving forward. No suspension, no fine. He will be cleared to play in Game 5 in San Antonio on Tuesday night. The two major things to take into account here, one is he was ejected from the game for this flagrant 2 with the elbow to Naz Reid's face. He missed a majority of Game 4 with that ejection, but most importantly, there's no prior history. The NBA took that into account most certainly in this decision. No further discipline for Victor Wembanyama.
Now, I do listen to Big Perk, and I know I heard him saying all day he actually thought that Wemby should be suspended, but he's not. He's back. The series is going back to San Antonio. So, Big Perk, what does this mean now? This is a best 2 out of 3 series.
It is. And I expect Wemby to come out and give a special performance and apologize to his teammates by doing it between the lines. Did the NBA get it right, in my opinion? No, because you prioritize superstardom and views over someone's health. But that's neither here nor there. I'm looking at this to be a brawl for it all. I expect the Minnesota Timberwolves to come out angry because of the decision that was made and because you're going to have the back of your brother Nas Reed. They already been chirping back and forth. But also, let's talk about the greatness of Anthony Edwards in this series. He has been basically unstoppable on 2 hurt knees. And so, yes, I know you're asking a lot, but that's going to have to carry over on the road. Also, I'm looking for the Minnesota Timberwolves defense, especially around the perimeter, to step up. Because although Wemby has been great, De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, Vassell, Champagne, all those guys have been having it their way, and we're not accustomed to seeing that against this Minnesota team.
Yeah, listen, their depth has been on full display, and you did hear Ant-Man say, look, I knew Wemby was out. I had to take over that game down the stretch. Shams, you're a busy man. We're going to let you go, get back to the phones with all of this news. But, Perk, you're not done. You got to hang out, all right? We're going to head east, maybe to Cancun, I don't know, for the Sixers after their season ended in a sweep by the Knicks. Where do the Sixers go from here? So we have Joel Embiid. He's missed over half of his games in Philly. They're the only team with 3 players making at least $40 million next season. He's extension eligible in 27. Perk, what would you like to see them do?
Well, I would like to see them blow it up. The only 3 people that are untouchable in Philly is Nick Nurse, Tyrese Maxey, and VJ Edgecombe. Everybody else should be on the chopping block, and that's including Daryl Morey and Joel Embiid. At this point, I feel like Joel Embiid has worn out his welcome. He's given everything that he possibly can to this franchise. But if someone show you who they are, you have to believe them. And I believe that he's not one of those cornerstone guys that's going to eventually lead them to an NBA championship. I also believe that it's time for Joel Embiid to get a fresh start, a new organization, get a fresh look, see how that goes for him. But far as this relationship and those two trying to hang on to it, I just don't see it happening. I think they need to part ways. And Hannah, I know it's going to be a hard task because Joel Embiid is contracted under so much money, and it's going to be hard with his value for teams to take him on. Yeah,
given his history of availability for sure, but it's going to be an interesting summer. You got big men going all over the place right now, potentially. Yeah. I want to talk about a team, though, that's not going anywhere right now. How about the New York Knicks? That point differential this postseason is the best by any team over a 10-game span in NBA playoff history. Okay, so we have Cleveland and Detroit battling it out right now. Which team would they least want to face, Big Perk?
I would have to lean more towards the Detroit Pistons. I think if you're the New York Knicks, you want to see the Cleveland Cavaliers, but from what history tells us this past season is that the Detroit Pistons has given the New York Knicks trouble. I'm not saying that they're not going to win if they do face the Pistons. I actually have the Knicks going to the NBA Finals. I believe that they're playing a beautiful brand of basketball on both ends of the floor. Mike Brown has unlocked a different version of Karl Anthony Towns that we've never seen before. We know that he could rebound at a high level. We know he's one of the most skilled bigs that could score, but now he's being the facilitator, making guys around them better, and he's defending. The New York Knicks are the real deal, but if I had to pick one for them, it would be James Harden and Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers that they want to see in the Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, Cat with double-digit assists, and arguably this is not the same version of the Knicks that had trouble with Detroit in the regular season, and OG Anunoby gets some rest, so things looking up in New York. Those fans are happy for now. Big Perk, we appreciate you. You know how